Man, good morning. Man, somebody please help me understand this because I don't get it. I promise I don't get it right. All us black from Africa, I don't care where you are around this world. If you the shade I am, right, your ancestors came from Africa. Now, we in America, right, we know that some of our ancestors came over here before slavery. It's a known fact. Even in United States history, some of our ancestors was already here. Some of them was indentured servant, some of them wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Some of them even was serving in politics. All this was going on in the North, right? Okay, so in the South, where they actually brought the slaves to, they brought so many slaves, not only to America, man, but you got South America, which actually got the largest population of people that look like me. They in South America. All right, so actually America, I think we like number two. So at first you go over here and you buy some slaves, but it's so lucrative for you. You go over here and you start kidnapping people. Then you take these people and you shrink them down, dehydrate them, don't feed them, treat them in and keep them in the most inhumane conditions possible, right? Put them on the boat in a what they call in a plank position. They laying side by side like sardines in a can, right? Then after that, so many of them die. Millions upon millions upon millions of our ancestors died on the trip over here. Throw these people off in the ocean. Change the migration pattern of the fish. They eating our dead ancestors. Because you know they just sink to the bottom of the ocean. Right? Alright, so here it is now. We here in America. We slaves in America, right? So one of the very first empire that's built in America off of black people, off they labor or whatnot, is the cotton industry. That's the very first American empire. America don't have an empire. It's in the South. It's the cotton empire, right? Because America is the number one leading producer of cotton at this time. I don't know if we still are, but at that point we produced cotton for the whole world. Okay, so I forget exactly how it happened, but you got black people that own slaves in the South as well. Very large plantations, not no little rinky dink operations. It's black people in the South too that own slaves. Very large plantations, but how they treating their slaves and how white people treating their slaves is two different things entirely, right? Okay, so you got people on these plantations, they being hung, they being burned. They got what they call these certain type of dogs that they use, to chase black people down when they escape. They over here raping the women. Now I'm gonna tell you something about that, right? That particular act in itself, man, how you got a woman that you done married in your bed, but you would get up out your bed, go out here to what you call a dog, an animal, this, that, and the third, and have sex. Then go back in the house with your wife like ain't nothing ever happened. But then now you having kids with these women, quote unquote, house folks. You know what I mean? They called them that because they was in the house with their daddies. You know what I'm saying? Now, the white women upset. They killing these children, man, because they a sign of infidelity. So they killing these children. Like they even had to come up with a law. You know what I'm saying? Not to protect the children, but to protect the white women from going to jail for killing these mixed children. Okay, so let's move it on a little further, right? So these people get into it with some other members of leadership in the country, right? So this guy at the time, the president, Abraham Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln, he come up with a war doctrine. You know what I'm saying? The Declaration Proclamation. So in this, he want to abolish slavery. I'm getting rid of it. Y'all want to play these games? I'm gonna take what it is you thriving off of down there. You thriving off this slavery. All right, so by this time we don't know how many millions of people done died on plantations because this shit it go on for like a few hundred years. Now, man, if you ever want to see the ghosts of our ancestors, come to the South when it's like 100+ degrees down there as hot as the Middle East, and stand out there in that sun for hours on end. Man, so hot you couldn't dare be outside for a few minutes. You know, back in the day, they ain't had no heating valves to let you know how hot it is. You going out there to work, for sure, no matter what the conditions is. You understand? Man, it happened to me. I went to a funeral that was next to a farm in the heat of the day. And the thought just struck me, man, these folks had our ancestors out here under a whip. Right? So this ain't not only happened to us in America. So the same thing happened to our ancestors and the people that we descended from on the mainland, right? So you got South Africa, these people go over here. Now, man, it's only two ways that, you know, it's a couple of ways that our people been in bondage so long, even on the home continent. One was Islam, man. That's just real talk, because you gotta think the jungles and some of these other places, man, these people got these huge armies in there, and it was impenetrable. But how they did that was with Islam. I'm telling you, I'm a Muslim. I know this, so I'm telling you. All right. So with the advent of Islam, two things happened. Somebody was able to infiltrate the African interior, but at the same time, you got Europeans coming over here with weapons using gunpowder, guns, cannons, things of that nature. So you really don't have nothing you can fight back with. So when they had this meeting to divide Africa up, people always leave this out too. That one of the comments made was, with an arm of about 10,000, you can defeat 100,000 because they got weapons. At the time, we don't have weapons. So man, I'm gonna tell y'all this too, right? I know you heard of the General Hannibal, right? Hannibal done made it all the way to Rome. He could actually go in here and crush Rome. He sent word back to his people, send me reinforcements. But here's the thing, man. His people was caught up in luxury, man, and they didn't want to fight because they was caught up in luxury, right? And this is one of the things about being a Muslim. You're not supposed to get caught up in luxury. But if you look at the Middle East, what they caught up in right now, luxury. Do you see them fighting? No. It's Muslims in peril all over the world. But you have yet to see the Islamic body get up and say as a whole, nah, man, that ain't, you don't put your hands on no Muslim. You don't do nothing to no Muslim. So the Muslim that's in, not in France, but in Britain or whatever, right? Man, where they reinforcements at? Where they help at? Why these folks ain't getting up from some of those regions over there and going and help them? You know, your actions speak louder than words. So apparently 99 or 90% of Muslims ain't living on that tenet alone. That they supposed to go and aid them folks against oppressors. And that's what that is. People trying to oppress other people for the simple fact that some kind of way they feel these people living better than them. But in Britain, if you be realistic, man, y'all had a lot of help come from other countries to come help y'all keep y'all country afloat. So it should never come to that. And you know this. People that look like me and other people, darker complexion or whatever, lighter complexion, wherever they came from, Came over to help you rebuild your country. Now, this ain't the first time this happened in European history. The Moors went over there. People look like me. Helped these people take baths. Built libraries. Helped their educational system. Built all types of buildings. Helped their architecture. Built walls. Protect their cities. All this stuff. But yet and still, you got the audacity, just like these people over here, of lighter complexion, to think that you would be where you are without people that's dark like me, right? It's so many inventors, right, that was black. So many innovations, so many historical aspects in wars that everybody is overlooked and say, hey, man, y'all didn't contribute nothing. But yet and still, your ass wouldn't have no phone. You wouldn't have the internet. You wouldn't have red lights. Man, black lady just now figuring out how to cure cancer. Two black girls just figured out an unsolvable mail problem ain't been able to be solved by nobody since it's been invented for hundreds of thousands of years. Two black girls just solved it. But I'm saying that to say this, right? Black Americans and Africans ain't got no business fighting amongst each other. Period. Ain't no black person on this earth got no reason to say nothing about no other black person when, as a whole, black people on the face of the planet, some us doing better than others. Just like you pick any race of people on the planet, some of them doing better than others. We got broke white people in America. The average Americans, man, I'm gonna tell you something. The average Americans, bro, they could give a damn less about what's going on somewhere else because they got their own problems here. Just like people in other places. Unless trouble come knocking at your door, you got your own problems to worry about. Now, in some of these other places, like Britain or whatever, man, trouble come knocking on these people's door. Even here in America, if you notice, they try to let lower class here's the thing people don't understand. In America, black people it's like groups of us, right? You got very, very affluent multi-millionaire billionaire blacks. They're at the top of the list, right? Then you got a group that's under them. They millionaires, but they don't have as much money as that top group, right? So that top group gonna be your athletes, your entertainers, your heads of corporations and stuff like that, right? And see, here's the thing. In America, American black people, right? Like I said, I'm breaking it down for you now. It's different groups of us. So the ones you see mostly on the internet doing all that foolishness, that's their bottom group. And let me remind you, their group is not that big, but they receive the most publicity, right? Okay, so let's move it on down a notch. You got a group of blacks that's not millionaires, but they still have hundreds of thousands of dollars. Okay, so this the working class group right here, right? You got machine operators, heavy equipment operators, people that drive trucks, operate bulldozers, stuff like that. These big giant job sites, stuff like that, right? Doctors, lawyers, they in this group too, because they not some of these people they not millionaires, but they do have access to hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? You got your professors, people doing. Listen, now while I'm speaking on this, man, the most educated group of black people, right? Educated. The most educated group of black people in America is the black females. And the reason why that is because a lot of them is in the medical field. You're not going to go in no hospital and don't see no black woman in there. I'm just sorry. I'm just trying to tell you. You're not about to go in a hospital and don't see a black woman in there. In a surgeon or a nurse or something like that. It's just they done about took over medicine in America, the black woman. Because at first it started off with CNAs, then it went to RNs, LPNs. I might not have it in the direct order, but Black women dominate this field right here. They the most. You can ask any. You can go to any reference source. The most educated people in America is black females. Now, as for the black male, they make more money with less education, bro. And the reason why that is because they make money off the books. Auto mechanics, barbers. You got guys over here in America, bro. I don't know if y'all do this nowhere else, but this guy's over here in America, man, making money off gambling, man, mega money, right? So that's why you see these young guys with all these big stacks of money on these videos and stuff like that. They uneducated, but they cash rich, right? They got $100,000 cars, nice homes, and guess what? They ain't finished school, so that's a whole nother group of us. You understand? Okay, so you come down on another little notch, and you got a group of us. They're just working class people. They not rich, but they got maybe a home, a car, a couple of kids. They just the average person. Now, when it comes to white America, a bunch of them average just like the average person got to get up and go. But since they outnumber us, maybe 2-1, 3-1, or something like that, of course, it's gonna be groups of them that got their own communities, stuff like that. And you're gonna hear, we don't want black people over here. Well, that's fine. That's fine. But if you notice, when they get priced out, and this happens a lot, white people get priced out of things they can't afford when they get tired of running from black people. Then they have to move back to some of these lower income black communities and buy homes, right? Because black people, what they tend to do is move into the communities where white people are, because they don't have a very large affluent black community. So now let me speak on it. In America, I can't speak for nowhere else. Man, we got thousands of affluent black communities, but they'll say the oldest. We're not talking about the oldest. We're just talking about the number, right? So it's take, for instance, you take somewhere like LA. Man, you get hundreds of thousands. So the population of LA is in the millions. Man, you know how many hundreds of thousands of black people live out there that's doing very, very, very well? Millions of them, actually. And all across America, you got these pockets of affluent black communities where the number of black people live. And guess what? They don't have no cheap houses over there. Houses in the millions. You got houses in the hundreds of thousands. And I'm saying that to say this. When these people going back and forth on the internet is senseless in a sense that us as blacks are all over the world. Man, we need one agenda, right? Because we almost there. We like this far from being where we need to be. Okay, so another thing that we tend to leave out is that our brothers and sisters all over the globe, I don't care where you are, you're going to encounter racism from the same people. So how is it, us knowing we all come from the same place, just because you somewhere else, all of a sudden, oh no, this our homeland, blah, blah, blah. If you take a zebra from Africa, it's still a damn zebra, right? No matter how many of them you breed in a zoo, that animal home is Africa, right? Let's get that understood. All right, so let's fast forward this a little bit more, make things a little bit less complicated. Okay, so I heard one of the brothers yesterday speaking about how, as black Americans, man, we cheer when any one of us, right, no matter where you from, you win. You know what I'm saying? We gonna cheer for you, man. You know, some of y'all, you got a gripe You know, here in America, some of the other countries. But when it comes to these events, right, especially track and field, man, it's either gonna be Jamaica or America. It's always been like that. Ain't nobody else produced that type of speed. Just like a marathon. Those marathon guys, they come from a certain part of Africa, and guess what? They dominate marathons. You know, you might well forget thinking my first, second, and third gonna belong to those guys. You know, it's just understood. And guess what? We support them 100%, man. Now here we are in a situation where we still got people exploiting our homeland, right? Exploiting our homeland. You got the Chinese come over there, right? Now they're not there for no reason. You understand what I'm saying? Because man, everything you need to run anything in this world, just about as far as electronics go, you got to get it from Africa. Another thing, when you buying these quote unquote luxury goods from Louis Vuitton, blah blah blah, man, the materials that they use to make those purses and all that stuff with it, it comes from Africa, right? Look it up. It's a fact. You understand? And it just baffles me how, as a whole, we don't want to dominate. I don't understand it. As a whole, we don't want to dominate. So it's a guy I want to commend him, man. Ibrahim Traore, the president of Burkina Faso, and those nations that they just formed their own bloc. I want to commend everybody over there for taking a stand and just giving the man a finger. You know what I'm saying? Nah, man, this how this gonna go. And he said something very interesting, man. He said, man, you got people over here digging, they mining with their hands, bro. All over the world. If you mining, you got some machinery. But in Africa, man, they got people digging up precious metals and precious stones with their hands. Like the shit the 1800s. You gotta be kidding me. And we ain't doing nothing about it. So it made me wonder how these presidents of countries in the motherland, right? How they let people come in there and do these type deals. I'm gonna tell you how. They uneducated in leadership, man. You can't appoint your family members to these interior positions and they ain't got a clue of what's going on. Not only they ain't got a clue, that you can't care, because if you let your people suffer, then you gave away. You gave away your people wealth. You gave it away through uneducation and being misinformed. But then you gotta think, some of the verbiage in some of these deals, like how you saying that? Man, look at, okay, everybody always want to point to the Middle East as far as how luxurious the cities are, the way they live, so. Man, bro, you possess, man, the number is just unbelievable how much more resources the motherland have than any other place on the earth. But yet and still these bad business deals, man, got it looking like in some places a third world country, but in other places you have to admit, man, say for instance, Rwanda or somewhere like that, man. Them people done brought their nation all the way back from where it was. We saw the movie Beast of No Nation in some of these other countries, man. We saw what was going on. Now these people done turn their life around. But at the same time, you let social media, man, dictate to you what you believe is going on in America and some of these other places. You let social media dictate that to you. You don't go there and see. But at the same time, I ain't gonna lie, I can't find it in my heart to disrespect no other black person. I can't. I don't see a reason to. I'm just waiting on our day of dominance. You know what I'm saying? And as a collective, we got everything we need to dominate the whole world. I want you to think about this. We all over the world. What would that army look like? A global black army. What would it look like? Right? I mean, you got and people bring up South Africa a lot, the country of South Africa. Like, how is it y'all let this one little group of people tell this big majority what to do? Man, you know what? It go on like they're here in America for the simple fact, man, people they don't want bloodshed, man. I don't care where you are. But the people that came before us, they didn't mind bloodshed. That's why they in the position that they in. Right? The light skinned people, the other people, man, they been raping folks and killing them for hundreds of years with zero repercussions. Then when they did have some repercussions, they went over and fought these folks for another 15 years and to no avail, just fighting for the hell of it. You know? At one point in time, man, we're gonna have to, show our teeth. Real talk. But show our teeth, man. And then you can't be scared to show your teeth, man, because we've been victims. We've been victims of these burglars for all these thousands of years, man. Victims of these burglars, and we know who breaking in our house. It's time to do something about it. Just point blank. Period. Now let me move on from that. All right, so you got Nigerians here in America. You got people from all over Africa here in America. What I'm trying to figure out is, why is it so difficult for us to form anything? Right? Now, you can't be mad at other people for forming blocks of wealth when you got the power to do the same thing, but you refuse to. Right? So even like America, I got to use us as an example because I know about this. I don't know how it works in other places. We got this thing over here called the Congressional Black Caucus, right? Kamala Harris was a part of this. Man, I ain't never heard of one piece of legislation that they introduced. Not one. So we over here talk about reparations, right? And people, well, reparations is we want to be paid for our labor, right? Our ancestors' labor, because they never got paid for it. Now here it is, man. Under a certain group of people leadership, we done had the same type of leadership for 200 and some years, right? And they leadership, much of it is poised on hold and some more people back. But even though you did that, these people still running neck and neck with you. Now I'm gonna tell you this: they got a grip on corporations, right? They do. They got a grip on that because they put them there. You know what I'm saying? And companies can't grow. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's a certain type of population there with a certain amount of money. Now I don't know if y'all know this or not, but I'm gonna tell you this, bro. African Americans are the 16th richest nation on earth. $1 trillion in spending power in America, right? And you know everybody know that nobody spends more money than us. Nobody spends more money than us. So you don't have to boycott people's businesses. You can just stop spending your money there, right? Now, if sisters take off their nails, right? Because sometimes I just look at women of other backgrounds, they don't wear nails. Or if they do, it's their nails are just a little bit longer. Them lashes, man, you can throw them away. Them wigs, man, look at the amount of money the black community spend on wigs and weave. Wigs and hair weave, right? Makeup, all this other stuff. We as black men, go out and we see other women They not wearing makeup from these other nationalities. Hair down their back. And we look at our women like, you know, they the most beautiful women's on the planet. You're not gonna find nothing look better. Let's just get this situated. Ain't nothing built like that. It don't need no enhancements. I want all my sisters to know that all over the world. Man, y'all don't even need enhancements. But I mean, when I mean, it you gotta think, man. Y'all was already beautiful. Then y'all start having enhancements. So that, and then other people saw y'all getting the enhancements. Then they start doing it. And then it turned sick. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of things do. People start injecting people with glue and all this old crazy stuff. But y'all didn't even need the enhancements, man. You know, some of y'all, you know, it's gonna be a group in there that ain't got what everybody else got. You know, they might have needed it, but as a whole, no, y'all don't need nothing, man. Y'all already beautiful. Man, y'all could just put lip gloss on. And be like, we like, damn, man, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so now, with that being said, it, you know, as far as legislation go, we moving in the right directions financially, you know, cause really, man, in the past few years, the credit thing here in America really took off as far as black people. You know what I'm saying? And man, let me discuss this with y'all real quick. Man, people had audacity, right, to say something about Martin Luther King. You got the audacity to open your mouth and say something about Martin Luther King, but you ain't never you ain't did nothing. Nothing. You ain't, if we gather right now and march on Washington, man, I ain't heard not one of these so-called professors, doctors, they ain't did nothing but talk about what somebody else actually did. You ain't worthy of listening to because you ain't did nothing. You ain't did nothing. Man, this man got killed for what he believed in. And what he believed in might give me the level playing field. I don't want this little shit over here in this little corner. I want my empire to be able to grow as much as it can. Now I'm gonna tell y'all something. Man, these videos these dudes be making and some of these content creators be putting up, man, don't listen to it. Especially when they talk about, oh, we know in 1950, 1960, we had our own this, our own this, our own this. You know what? It's true. We did. But now here's the thing. If you in a small community, how much growth do you have? When they open up an Asian restaurant, why they open it up at wherever the hell they want to? When they open up a Mexican restaurant, why they open it up at wherever the hell they want to? Businesses, you put businesses in places that's growing. You don't take a business and open it up just because it's on this damn side of town. That don't guarantee you nothing. You understand what I'm saying? Now, the thing about it, in our communities, it's other people with businesses over there. But until we open our own businesses in our own communities to supplant those businesses, then we'll get that money. Right? But now, when you do that, you still got to understand that that business is only going to make so much money. Period. If you only servicing your community, then you are limiting your capital because you only serving your community. But there's nothing wrong with having businesses in your community. This is how you block the money going to other people's hands, right? So say for instance, all these sisters get their nails done. Why is it you don't see no sisters got nail shops? Sisters ought to have nail shops. It ought to be as many nail shops as it is barber shops. That's how that should go. It should be just as many nail shops as it is barber shops. But guess what? Man, you get barbershops, black barbershops. No, nobody cut our hair but us. The black barbers got a monopoly on cutting black hair. You understand what I'm saying? Why y'all sisters ain't got a monopoly on doing them nails and doing them feet, right? As far as convenience stores, we ought to have it a monopoly. You understand what I'm saying? We ought to have there ought to be a monopoly in our area. You know what I'm saying? We now that here now that's the thing about that. It's not that you just want to open up a business in your community. You open up that business in your community to monopolize it. That's the part we need to get understood. You open up these businesses in your community to monopolize your community. Nobody else can come in here and get $1. You see what I'm saying? But if you want to open up a business outside your community, ain't nothing wrong with it at all. See, here's the thing, bro. People want to criticize Dr. King for what he did, but what he did was he wanted the level playing field, because he knew that if I only had the one playing field, I was only gonna get a certain amount of money, because my business could only be patronized by my people. But now when you open up businesses outside your community, that's when you get money from everybody. You see what I'm saying? Because it's some places that other races of people own. I like going there because the food damn good. Period. And this other races of people, they come to establishment owned by black people because what? The food damn good. You know, point blank period. And man, we gotta understand that what Dr. King actually died for, and people want to be critical of something that they ain't did nothing. You where you are because he put it down. Let's just be honest, he put it down. Ain't nobody else did nothing after he died. They didn't do nothing. And somebody brought this up. They was like, bro, Dr. King didn't have a right hand man to take up his work. Malcolm X didn't have a right hand man to take up his work. Medgar Evers didn't have a right hand man to take up his work. Right? So black history in America is filled with all these great black people that didn't have a right hand man to finish taking up their work. Benjamin Banneker, he done that. Man, Benjamin Banneker designed the whole Washington D.C. He a black person. He ain't had nobody second in command to take up his work. You know, and that's another thing. Like a lot of black businesses go under for the simple fact, I ain't gonna say go under, but they end up closing their doors because the sons and the daughters and stuff like this, they go off and do other things rather than further building their family empire. They you know, and I can't knock it because it's so many things that you can do to acquire wealth. But this one thing we lack. We don't want to work for free and look at the bigger picture. Right? We don't want to take less. The thing about it is, when you a part of a family business, you don't work there for money, man. You work there for your people always have some cash flow coming in, because you never know when you might need it. Now they can compensate you, but they might not have the traffic that Chick-fil-A got or McDonald's got. But they do got some traffic, and it does make money. So man, get in there and get your hands dirty with your folks and help them stay afloat. Man, some of us are standing around and watch our family businesses go under and won't even go help. Man, you sorry as hell. You sorry, man. You a sorry person, man. I can't really say what I want to say, but you sorry, man. For real. Then another thing, man, y'all don't know about Dr. King. He was a war tactician, right? So one thing he knew was how to go to war. So he knew that this particular war, if you look at all the great black generals throughout history, right, they claim to fame was outsmarting their enemy and exposing his weakness. Dr. King knew that the people that was against him, their main weakness was saying that they was better than somebody else. Man, prove it. That was Dr. King case. You better than me, prove it. Let us get this level playing field. And I want you to prove to me that you better than me. Because I ain't looking at it at the house you live in. I got the same kind of house. I can't look at it by the car you drive. I got the same kind of car and I'm doing it with less. Man, if you look back over all the legislation introduced, this is legislation introduced to keep black people down. Not nobody coming to your door at gunpoint. And we also know that they have too. So if you look at the documented instances of where people of another race were so jealous of black folks, they went and burned their house. Man, they done knocked down whole black cities just to put a lake. Looked over the black graveyard, put a building on top of it with the people still there. But the white graveyard, you done built the road around it. Ain't nothing about 8, 9 people. You built a whole road around it. Man, we got instances where they done burned up all our children. This in the modern era, bro. Central Park, New York. Man, that was a black town. They ran black people out of there so they could put a park right there. If you don't believe me, look it up. Everything I'm saying to you, look it up. Period, man. Everything. And then I'm going to tell you this other misconception. They'll tell you black people, we 12% of the population, so we ought to be 12% of this. No, that's wrong. I'm going to tell you why. Unless you know how to interpret statistics, do not believe any of them are true. I don't give a damn what the statistic is. Unless you know how to interpret statistics, you cannot take what a person's saying at his word. And I'm going to tell you why. In that 12% population of black people in the United States, that include children, infants, toddlers. So the group of people that's under the age of 18 and can't work, you had to subtract it. Then the group of people that's over the age of 65 and 55, you got to subtract them too. So I don't know the particular number that will be, but you got this frame of people that's 55 to 18. Now you had to divide these people up into fields that they go in. Some fields are attractive, like I told you. Black women attracted to the medical field. Black women attracted to beauty shops. Black women is like dentist office, things of that nature. And then you got this clown Charles the White talking about black jobs. Them black jobs. Black women got that shit on lock. You know what I'm saying? In the medical field, they got it on lock, man. And I'm just, man, some stuff just foolishness when you know. That's why a person say, my intelligence make you upset. It really do. And intelligence make you upset. All right, so let's move on a little bit further, right? Now here it is in the 21st century. I'm gonna tell you about this bank, Navy Federal. Now this was crazy, and I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna say this right here, right? America not a racist place. It's full of racist people, and I ain't gonna say it's full of racist people. Cause all you need is one or two or a few racist people in some key positions, right? And it just throw it off everybody, man. It really do. So say for instance, you take this bank, Navy Federal. Now this is a government backed. All banks is backed by the government or whatever. But this one in particular is for military. But if you a member of the military and your family members, they can join. Man, how is it that they got a scandal not selling black people houses? But you take this other group of people with less credit, less income, but you'll get them what they want. See, it's this type of handicap that you deal with in America, but yet and still you overcome. So if you look at it, man, black Americans are forced to be reckoned with for the simple fact they don't give a damn about no obstacles. They don't care nothing about it. Nothing about it. Man, we the only group of people that have overcame all these obstacles. Cause other people, bro, in these other places like Europe, man, where y'all politicians at? Y'all need politicians. Even here in America, we need more black politicians to abdicate for what it is we want. And I agree with people. Stop asking for what you want and put the people in position to get what you want. It's just like the Nation of Islam. Man, you know how many brothers in the Nation of Islam, but how many of them brothers is actually in positions, man, to do something? You cannot do nothing without the political sphere. This is where your laws are made. This how things get done. This how your schools get money. Your college. It's just like, I'm gonna bring that up since we're on the topic of school. Let me say this real quick. Man, everybody at them HBCUs, y'all graduating, and y'all can throw all these community events for y'all, for your communities, you know, for your sororities, for your fraternities. Nah, damn that for a minute. Let's raise this money and get some of these people in some of these seats. Man, HBCUs got the most intelligent black people in America. 80% of your lawyers, doctors, judges, teachers, they come from HBCUs. If you don't know what that means, historically black colleges and universities. Now, the problem with that is you don't have nobody to protect your best interest in government for the simple fact, man, United States government owe over $13 billion to HBCUs. And what happens is when the government set aside this money in budget, when they get to the state level, they siphon off the money. So when the government budget in the money for HBCUs, when they get to the state level, they siphon off the money and give it to their friends. And I hold the office of accountability responsible for that, because if I give you $100 to take care of some business with, and you say, nah, I'm gonna give this money to my sister, or I'm gonna give this money to my brother, but the money, but the situation still going on, I gave you the money for, you just said F that. So, you know what I'm saying, Mike? That's why we need, like in places like states like Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida. Nah, man, you need somebody that's serious about representing you. Tennessee as well. You know, New York, New Jersey. Man, in the places where we you know what I'm saying, got a nice size population, man, we I can't be worried about nobody else. We need somebody in these places that represent us. It's just like if you live in Chicago, you live in New York. You see immigrants come over here, they give these people $4,000-$5,000 a month. Man, that's a damn salary, bro. People who never even been in this country, they never worked. And I don't get it why Americans, man. Now, when that happened, should nobody went to work? Period. We you know what? That's what all Americans should have boycotted. Nah, we ain't going to work. For what? You done took the money that you owe us and gave it away? Now I want you to think about this. And I know people hate on Barack Obama, but dude was smart as hell. And I'm gonna tell you something. He was in a debate, and they criticized him for taking $700 billion from China, right? But his response was, have you ever seen the budget for the military? It's trillions of dollars. The budget for the United States military at the height of the war with Iraq and in the Middle East, man, they was burning through trillions of dollars. And the United States government had to print up all this money to pay for these wars. Now you don't have a war that requires trillions of dollars. So this would drastically shrink your economy. Now, you know what? We're going to bring in some more people, right? So if you bring in this amount of people, you got to generate enough money to be in availability for this number of people. So that's what the migrant situation is about. And once again, they figured out a way to rob the American people of their hard-earned money. So if you live in one of these sanctuary cities and this happening, now sue your government for theft. If it's a prosecutor there who will listen to you, because these cities made these decisions, not the government. The cities made these decisions to give these people this money. So you need to find a prosecutor that'll prosecute these people for stealing your money. Right? You got politicians in Washington of the lighter complexion telling you, nah, man, these people is stealing this money, but they don't have the teeth to clamp down on them because there's so much corruption, man. All right, so we finna move on from that a little bit, and I'm gonna wrap this up. We don't have us, the dark skinned people, right? We ain't got time to be fighting amongst ourselves over some of the most trivial things. Oh man, you was a slave. Well, man, you know what? We looked over there and saw y'all just killing each other for decades. Killing each other with machetes and stuff. And I'm gonna be honest with you, for the life of us black Americans, man, we could not understand that for shit. Man, that shit brought tears to our eyes to see that shit going on over there. I'm talking about, we like, what the fuck? And that's what really scared a lot of us off from coming over there, was seeing how people treat each other, man. But I'm so glad that era over with. So as you can see, a lot of us don't start coming back home. You know what I'm saying? Because we didn't want to leave from here and face all this BS, then come home and face some more BS. You know, they just, the thing about it is, man, anywhere we are, man, we should have a global empire, because we the only people that spread all over the globe. Us, this color, we are the global empire. The true definition of it, because we all over the planet. Asian people, they in Asia. Chinese, they in China. They're a minority anywhere else. Americans, they're a minority anywhere else. Right? The French, they ain't spread all over the world. A little handful of their ass, or two or three of them. The Dutch, we got a handful of Dutch people in South Africa. And you mean to tell me, come on, man. You can't go to Nigeria and do that, dog. You can't go to Kenya and do that, man. Folks will have your head. Literally. It's just like Egypt. Man, people went there and they impersonating the people that it belonged to. Right? North Africa. You know why North Africa is in this, is you know, people be able to steal. It's just like the Jews. Some more people that stole our identity. This is a widely known fact. These people are identity thieves. They still identity thieves right to this day. And you know, man, like the Jews didn't become the Jews until they left Egypt. They was the Hebrews at first. Everybody know Hebrew people. They was black, man. It's just common knowledge, common sense. But if you study the history, you will know that after years and years and years and years of warfare, the black empires collapsed. And then the other people start impersonating the black people. Oh, this our home. No, the fuck is not. It's just common damn sense, man. If you picked up any book, we are the only global power, period. Just based off the numbers. From our homeland in Africa, Puerto Rico, Jamaica, Haiti, United States of America, Mexico, Canada, France, Australia. We the only global power, dog. No, you not gonna go nowhere and see no damn Australians in mass nowhere. But you can go all over the world and find us, the people that was taken from the homeland. We in mass, man. We the only global empire, period. And it's time for us to start acting like that. Let's just put the sauce on it the same way the other people put sauce on it when they the majority. You know what I'm saying? It's time for us. Cause we did, I'm telling you, don't let these people fool you. We this far away from it. So all this fighting, see, I'm gonna tell you something, man. One of our ancestors wrote, the same problem befalls them all. They don't have the power to unite. They refuse to unite. And if you ask any other group of people, they gonna tell you, say, especially Asians, man. They respect us, but they despise us for that one simple reason: we don't know how to, you know what I'm saying? Put the oomph on this shit. And until then, man, you ain't got time to get on down the internet talking about some, well, y'all, or no, man, fuck that. No, I don't know none of y'all business in Africa, but I do know, man, I do business with Africans every single day. We Muslims, right? So I don't just really see, but I have seen one video where this one imam, he said some crazy stuff, about us over here not knowing who our fathers was, Man, let me tell you something. If you don't know this, United States got one of the strictest practices in place as far as doing who your dad is. We got a whole court system set up to knowing who your dad is. So that's a no-go. So if you hear anybody saying somebody in America don't know who his dad is, no. We got a whole court system. It's called a juvenile court system. And the main thing it does is set up and establish paternity. Now, in some places, they'll have you messing around, but, going back trying to fight, with a woman, try to put a baby on you. But some states even have laws in place, laws called paternity fraud, for saying that a child is somebody else's. Do y'all have that in place? I'm just saying. But in here, in America, no, hell no. That's a staunch practice. You gonna know who your dad is. You know what I'm saying? But about to hear y'all up long enough. And hopefully this information spread far and wide. And we can do what we need to do, man. Peace.